coat of arms.
This is the Canuck Spectre 12 gauge bullpup shotgun. Really impressed with how soft this thing actually shoots. The balance on it and the weight is second to none. When you think of a bullpup, you always think of how the weight is distributed across the platform. And in this case, I don't think it could be any better. You've got a lot of structure in the rear end, the buttstock. You can see how robust this is. When I shoulder this gun, it feels right. And when I'm cycling it, it just feels nice and flat, nice and steady, no effort. I mean, I could probably function this gun with one hand up into here. My front hand is doing nothing but just stabilizing. I'm with my main man, Dave Fuller. Everybody knows him from NAS Guns and Ammo. Dave, we've got the Spectre by Canuck 12 gauge bullpup shotgun, and we're doing some magazine testing here. What is the purpose of this?
Well, actually, it's to see whether the Mark 12 Dera mag actually works in the Spectre bullpup. So we've got it loaded up with birdshot, all ready to go. We're shooting the Spectre mag first, obviously, to make sure the gun functions correctly, and then we'll move on to the Mark 12 mag and see if it works.
So we had a nice last round hold open.
We did.
Worked great.
So these ones come with an orange follower. Follower's a little bit different compared to the Mark 12, so let's see where it goes.
So this one's a Dera Mark 12. A little too much on the snug side. So we've got this one here. What one is this, Dave? This is a new bullpup to the market as well.
Yeah, this is for the tracker.
So guys, if you have a Dera Mark 12 and you want to try to use your magazines to cross over to the Canuck Spectre, in this case, it's a little bit too snug. Don't recommend it. Unfortunately, we can't test it if we can't get it in. So Dave, the one thing I noticed is, you run a clear chamber, you check it, you realize you're dry. I switch over to go to release the mag, and my first time operating this gun, I couldn't find the mag release.
Yep, me also.
And you know where you think it should be, but you physically look, or you visually look and check, and it's not there. But it's where the orientation of your eye is when you have the shoulder. If you turn it over, you can now see the little lever.
Exactly.
So, but it's in a good spot. I mean, easily in and out, I can access it. It's not a problem. It's just for the first time you find yourself searching.
You do.
It's heavy enough to absorb the recoil.
Yep.
But it's light enough to have one hand that you could just balance it right up the middle.
Just the way it actually feels in your hand.
And I think it's so much like a Tavor that they had to send it back to the factory to make some changes to avoid some issues.
I think they did.
But I think they found a nice balance here.
It doesn't feel cheap.
Not at all. So in this scenario here, maybe you've got a situation where you got one arm down, or you're in a situation where you're practicing some engagements with an injured arm or hand. This is what it would look like. Make the gun safe and clear. If you look at my friend here, Triumph Systems Yeti threat down target, I mean, he's having a bad day. And that's one-handed engagement while moving. I mean, I am shooting target loads, some Challenger target loads. It runs it like a dream. So what don't I like about this gun? The only thing I can identify that is a little bit of a challenge for me is the safety. I'm not a huge fan of the safety. As you can see, I got smaller thumbs, so engaging this safety is a little bit more difficult for me. And the other thing is maybe this paddle here is a little bit more difficult to find. I mean, once you know it's there, it's easy to engage and you can get used to it. I mean, two very, very minor things. Comes with all the chokes that you would need for a platform like this. So the idea, again, in a bullpup configuration, you're bringing kind of the action behind the trigger group, which gives you that full barrel in such a compact package. If you're in a deer stand, if you're hunting, this is compact. You don't have to worry about your barrel getting hung up on anything. Comes with pop-up sights. It got some secondaries on the top here that you can utilize. Kind of difficult to use these, even if my cheek's real low down on the stock. It's real hard for me to kind of sight in with these. More of just a backup secondary. But outside of that, man, the construction really well done. And it seems to be feeding everything. We've had slugs that we were kind of doing penetration tests on with the concrete, and had some interesting results for that. You know, pick this one up here at your local gun store. Here to us, it's NAS Guns and Ammo. They've been a sponsor for this episode for us here, so I thank them. Thank you to Canuck and the guys down at Odell Engineering, Ian and Phil, for getting this out to us to be able to test. Always a pleasure to work with their products, and always bringing in quality products for an affordable price. You can't beat it.
And so you don't miss out, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on youtube.com. This is Coat of Arms.